What credit score do I need to buy a house? Most people think that there's one magic number, and that's not the case. In the next few minutes, I'm going to break down the minimum credit score needed for each program, including FHA, USDA, conventional, and VA. I'm also going to sprinkle in some data for down payment assistance because, believe it or not, those programs ask for a whole different credit score, and it's not that much higher, to be honest with you. It's actually very obtainable. So let's hop right in. Let's go to the biggest, baddest boy in the block, conventional, which is, utilized by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. And conventional, the reason why I say the biggest, baddest is because it's used most throughout the country. It's the most popularly used throughout the country. That being said, it is not the one necessarily for you because each program has its purchase. But let's hop in. Let's stop talking about that stuff. Let's go to 620. Let's just jump right in. The minimum credit score needed for conventional is 620. Whether you're putting 3, 5, 10, 20, 50% down, the minimum credit score needed is 620. I'm going to back this up with saying that your history, your payment history is very important, extremely important. So if you have a 620 today, but you have late payments on whatever, credit cards, car payments, mortgages, it's going to be difficult for you to be able to buy a house. But if you have great credit and a minimum of a 620, you got a ticket to the dance and you might be a homeowner sooner than you think. Let's go to the next bad boy, which is FHA. Love FHA, love FHA. Why? Because it's very easy to get approved for FHA, okay? And one of the biggest bonuses, for the minimum down payment of 3.5% down, you only need a 580 or better credit score, okay? Same rules apply. Credit history is very important. So as long as you've had good credit history for the past 12 to 24 months, FHA is going to give you a ticket to the dance, okay? So if you have a 580 or better and good credit history for the past 12 to 24 months, I would say your probability of getting approved is very high. Very high. There's reasons why you've had a 580, no doubt. Unless you have brand new established credit, you probably had some challenges in the past, and that's okay. Don't worry about that, okay? Get pre-qualified. Let's see where you stand. Let's get to the next bad boy, VA. This is a different kind of animal. So for you vets and for you current men and women that are serving in a U.S. military, thank you for your service, by the way. VA doesn't really have a minimum credit score. The VA says they'll go all the way down to a 500, but that really doesn't matter because the back end qualifying system that they utilize is called the residual income. As long as there's enough residual income, you can still get qualified. So if you have a 500, 550, 600, 700, whatever the case is, as long as the residual is more than enough, you really don't have a lot of hurdles stopping you from becoming a homeowner. And the biggest benefit, VA doesn't have mortgage insurance and you can still get in with zero down. Oh my goodness, that is an amazing loan. So for you vets and current service men and women, I recommend you give us a call so we can talk about this, okay? Let's go to the next bad boy on the block. Not the most commonly utilized, and that's only because it is driven by a map, okay? And that's USDA. USDA, you'll probably hear, is another loan that you can get in with zero down, but it's designed for specific areas to be able to be financed in. So USDA, if you go to USDA.gov and you go to the map, okay, it'll give you the areas of where USDA is utilized, and as long as where you're buying falls in that area on the map, you can get in with zero down. And it only asks for a 580 credit score, okay? So let's recap them all and let's talk a little bit more about other programs. So the minimum needed for FHA, 580. The minimum needed for conventional, 620. The minimum needed for VA, doesn't really have one, but the VA will go all the way down to 500 as long as your residual income is there. And the minimum needed for USDA is 580, okay? If any of your scores are in this area, I recommend you get pre-qualified because getting pre-qualified, all it does is it lets you know exactly where you stand. You're not making a commitment. You're not saying, I'm signing on the bottom line and I'm gonna become a homeowner. It's not that at all. It just lets you know where you're at. Actually, I refer to getting pre-qualified like Google Maps, okay? You know you want to become a homeowner, but you got to know where you're at in order to know where you're going, just like Google Maps. That's what getting pre-qualified does. You're going to have one of two results. You're either approved, okay? And if you are, we'll give you all the data on that, and maybe you become a homeowner. And you're not approved. If you're not approved, then there's a challenge. We identify the challenge. We teach you what the challenge is, then we teach you how to overcome it so we can help you solve those things and you'll become a homeowner a little bit down the road. Now, I'll be honest with you. For those that are serious about becoming a homeowner, serious. I mean, I asked this question on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is it for you to become a homeowner? And if you're an 8, 9, or 10, you're going to become a homeowner. If you're a 7 or below, you may not become a homeowner, okay? Because if we're putting a plan together, you have to execute that plan. And it could be a number of things. I don't want to get into that. If you want to know your plan, give us a call. Or maybe you don't even need a plan. Maybe you're already qualified, okay? But we'll put the plan together. And from my experience, from the most drastic plan of the person that needed to do the most work, the longest time period of execution was 6 months. That means if you come to us in January, you could be a homeowner by July. That's what that means. In the same year that you inquired with real problems that you need to solve. That person was a 10. They said, Chris, I'm going to become a homeowner. It's a 10. I said, cool. Started in January, in the home by July. That's the scenario I'm giving you. Not everyone takes that much time. You might only need 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. But I'm giving you the worst case scenario. If you're an 8, 9, or 10 about becoming a homeowner, you can typically in the same year that you inquired. Pretty neat, right? You can start in July and be a homeowner by Christmas. Ooh, that's pretty amazing, pretty badass if you ask me. Now let's hop into down payment assistance, guys. Down payment assistance is a different animal. It does ask for higher credit scores, okay? It does. And, let's think about it. If someone's willing on fronting you the money or giving you the money to buy your home, shouldn't the barrier be a little bit higher? Yeah, it should. But it's not even that much higher, okay? Let's start with 640, okay? For your local program, okay? For the local program in your area, it's 640. You need a 640 or better credit score, okay? If you want to unlock all the programs, okay? Your city, county, national programs, you want a 660 or better. Pretty simple, right? So if you want to get in the door, 640 or better, you're going to become a homeowner. If you want access to all of them, because all of them offer a little bit of a different benefit. They all pretty much do the same thing. But if you want, one particular one because that's what your friend got, 660 or better will unlock all of them. But if you have a 640 or better, you got a ticket to the dance once again, okay? So like I said, many times people ask, what credit score do I need to be able to buy a house? This is the most popular credit score, right behind how much down payment do I need. And if you want to know the answer to that one, refer to one of our other videos we've done in the past because we've answered that question too. So let's just recap it one more time. What credit score do you need to become a homeowner? If you want FHA, 580. If you want conventional, 620. If you want VA, goes all the way down to 500. If you want USDA, 580. So I hope that helps. If you're interested in becoming a homeowner, just give us a call. Our number's all over the place in our banner, in our description. Just give us a call or text. We're more than happy to walk you through this process. And our initial conversation is no more than 5 minutes too. So you don't have to invest a lot of time talking with us to get you on the right path. I hope this helps. Have yourself a great day.